Hello again, we're at Battersea Park and I encourage you to repaint the premises of what you share online. And what I mean by this is that I think you should change the assumptions behind what you think you should share online in terms of one, the subject matter, and two, the quality of what you share. And why am I telling you this? Well, that's because, you know, on the internet and for any like for-profit business even, you're encouraged to specialize in one thing in order to gain a following and, make more money and, also to like be consistent and stuff. But the thing is, I'm not online really to make money. Like if I put the same amount of effort into like, I don't know, following every single, anime that's coming out and then making a podcast in every single season, to get the most views and stuff. If I put the same amount of energy into that as I did into just developing new skills in the career that I already have, of which the trajectory of is already something I am interested in doing in itself. So like, there's that. And then also because another reason why I'm telling you this is because many years ago, at this point, I learned that you can't expect people to understand you. What you have to do is you have to go out there and tell people what you're all about. And in university, that's exactly what I did. I didn't hide who I was, and I was really glad that I did all of that. But a mistake I made is like I kind of forgot what it felt like to not be understood, and I felt that very recently, and I was like, oh, this is what it feels like, this is bad, this is important to me. And I think that part is just like really important. So for example, on like Twitter and Blue Sky, their profiles which are all about just a certain character, a certain series, and those are fun, those can be very fun. But what I find interesting, even more interesting of profiles to scroll down and look through, are ones which share share the thoughts on like different kinds of topics and show the person like I see who they really are. An example of this is Regular August. So they're the person who jokes a lot about anime is just like really funny and also like points things out. But they also talk about like film, and just it's really cool to it's really refreshing to see that. And there's also another profile, for example, Mike Nishikino. So he is clearly a Love Life fan and also a Genshin Impact fan, but he has a channel which is all about Call of Duty, and they specifically love Call of Duty Zombies. And like if Mike, if you're watching this, like I see all your tweets on, well, not tweets on Blue Sky, but I see all your posts on Blue Sky. I'm like, well, I don't like any of the posts about Genshin Impact or like Call of Duty Zombies. I like seeing them, okay? And those are just, yeah, and that's interesting. Like, I just think it's interesting that like this person with like a Love Life profile likes Call of Duty Zombies. That's a good thing. And yeah, like, so I like those profiles more. I find them more interesting as well. And like if you really like Power Rangers, for example, like you can talk about Power Rangers, but if you also really like Yu Yu Hakusho, like talk about Yu Yu Hakusho more. Like I want to know why you love it so much, I won't mention the name, but if you're watching this, you know that I'm talking about you. But and just like, I want to kind of do like the same thing, I think it's really important to be able to share my thoughts on anything I want, So, if I want people to understand like what my deal is, there is, even in that sense, there is a benefit to, compartmentalizing like different topics in different places to gain that following so more people understand you. But like on my blog, chaselighreflections.com, and like on Twitter and Blue Sky, I don't care anymore. Like if I want to post about deep house music at 1 a.m, like I'll just post about it. If I want to post about like the Australian Open tennis final that I watched earlier today, I'll just post about it. And like, I think it's just really, these trees are nice. I just think that's liberating, and it reminds me of the fact, to me it is important to be understood. That's one of the most important things, is to be understood. Yeah, and it's like, even like some of my high school friends, they don't know I have a YouTube channel. It's like, I shouldn't expect them to know because I never told them, but like here I am, making a video walking through Battersea Park. And like, And like, yeah, that's yeah, just like that's pretty liberating. And like the second, so I mentioned and I think when we can say we post online, it's about subject matter. So this is about like subject matter, diversify a little bit where you can, but also the quality of what you share. So I'm really perfectionist. The reason I haven't posted a lot on the blog is because, or even just talked about like some anime that people I don't think know that I like, is just because I'm perfectionist about my thoughts. But like, not everything has to be this really long, in-depth analysis that like I really go hard on, like my Love Life Sunshine episode 1 analysis. That's great. Like, I'm glad I wrote it. I'm really happy I wrote it. But if I do that all the time, like it kicks in this like bad perfectionism that I have, and like this kind of just like fear of like people not getting it. But like you just have to post, just write and just post, and see where that takes you. And I think that's also really important. Like this, like even what I'm doing really right now is just I'm keeping all of my pause and everything. I'm just sharing what I think. And similarly, this also emphasizes like this helps just bring out like my authenticity, like my authentic self, and that's like really important thing. And this reminds me of 2 YouTubers that I discovered recently. So the first one is Jonny Mozza, and the second one is Tantris Humble, who has a second channel called Tantris Humble. And basically what these two guys do is that they just get a camera out, go to places. Jonny Mozza is in London and Tantris is in Tokyo. They just go to random places, sit down, and they film themselves just talking about whatever's on their mind. And these are really good kinds of videos. Like, these are kind of my favorite kinds of YouTube videos, and they remind me of another channel way back, Did You Bro After Dark, that some of you definitely know. And it's just like this kind of just genuine video of just them, people just talking to you about what they think. And I think that's really, I don't know, I think it's really, it's something that, I think more people should do. Like on even just like a second channel or whatever, just like kind of do that. And yeah, so this talk is also partly inspired by them, by those two, even though I was already doing it before. So yeah, like even like some anime, like I just don't talk about it. The mistake I made was forgetting the feeling of being understood, but like also kind of being sometimes being content with not being understood sometimes, and that's just not a good thing. Like, someone says something about an anime that I disagree with, I just kind of let it pass, and it's just not good, and just keep things inside. It's just, that's the antithesis of what I learned. Like, I can't go back to my old. I don't want to go back to my. I never go back to my old self. But like, that feeling is slow. Like, if it slowly comes back, it's like, oh no, like, that's terrible. And so yeah, basically, I'm just gonna post more often. Not care a lot about the subject matter as much. Not care about the quality of the post. Not everything has to be so revelatory and philosophically deep. Just post. Post more on my blog. I'll share all my links in the description below, and also the links to all the profiles and channels I mentioned. So yeah, I encourage you to think about the same thing. Of course, if you want to really kick off like your techno music career or your dark ambient career, like, don't it doesn't really make much sense to post a lot about your music and then start talking about golf. But that's more in the realm if you really want to like make it a living and that kind of stuff. And I'm just not, that's not what I'm in here for. That's the lake. So yeah, think about it.